Today we're in the greenhouse and I'm gonna get rid of this. What was this? This was all rosemary? That was all rosemary that was in here. So, actually you break it, you can smell it. So,
Mommy didn't keep up on that properly.
yeah. So over the winter, up until probably about maybe 3 months ago, we actually had a couple of birds living up here. Basically, the birds that hang out up in the yard.
Our birds.
So the yard birds were actually up here at night, and because we couldn't put them in with the rest of them because they'd fight all night. Start sowing some seeds up in here first to get them started. I should have brought my gloves.
Mostly because it's still a little chilly at night.
Well,
And the soil temperature isn't quite right for planting on a lot of these.
there we go. So essentially, we have these ribs up here on the top side, but we haven't put the wiggle wire in yet with the plastic over the top. And I think we kind of missed that window at this point, because if we put the plastic up over here now, it's probably going to end up being too hot in here. So,
depending on what we're growing, that could be a good or a bad thing.
so for now, we're basically just going to see this. I wish I brought my gloves out with me, because this is what they call stinging nettle. And stinging nettle has these tiny little thorns on the leaves, on the stems, on every part of this. And it really sucks when you grab it and you pick it up, you pull it out, and then all of a sudden your hand starts to itch. And then your back of your hand starts to itch, then your arm starts to itch. And anywhere that this got even remotely just brushed or touched you is going to itch. It's kind of like rolling around in fiberglass. You know, insulation.
But it's fully edible.
But if you boil it, it actually brings down the sting, you know, the little needles, and you can actually eat it. And believe it or not, apparently it's decently healthy for you. I've never personally eaten stinging nettle yet. I don't plan on it, but in the worst case scenario, if I had to, yeah, I guess I could. So, but I haven't done it yet. Does this one have a hole in the bottom for drainage?
No, I don't believe it does. It
Okay.
wasn't. Well, it was originally supposed to be used for a dust bath for the turkeys
Oh.
when they were broody in here. The girls went broody in here.
All right.
Oh no, it does. They're all plugged up though.
Not anymore.
That's all right. That soil had been in there for some time, and I'm sure it desperately was compacted down. Oh yeah, look at all the roots.
So that soil in there has been in there for a number of years. We had rosemary growing in there. At some point we had, what else we had? We had like some,
We had ginger.
we had ginger.
Turmeric,
We had a whole bunch of crap growing in there.
ginger, turmeric,
So-
rosemary, and two other things.
Peanut gallery. So basically, this right here, this was actually all nothing but wood chips like 2 years ago, which they are no longer wood chips for the most part. So these wood chips, which were wood chips 2 years ago, are now really good quality topsoil. So this one's deep enough that we can actually plant some rooted vegetables. So we can actually plant some carrots in here, maybe some beets, onions, but we're actually going to save the real big bunch of, like the whole bunch of onions and beets and carrots for out in the field. Experimentation purposes to see how this mulch composted down. I actually want to plant some carrots in here. We're going to do a little experiment. We'll see how it goes. These carrot seeds, I mean, they are like super, super tiny. I don't even know if you can see those. They're really, really tiny. So I'm actually just going to, do one row of carrots. And I'm going to cover that over. The second row here, I'm actually just going to do radishes. So these are Burpee brand radish Cherry Bella. So Cherry Bella radish brand. That's these guys. All right. And then what are we going to do on the third row?
I have turnips.
Let's do turnips.
All right, here.
Turnips are very similar to radishes.
Mark your radishes, please.
Yeah. And let's get the turnips.
We're going to do purple top globes this time.
So these are purple top globe turnips.
Unless you'd like to plant half that and then half of it your horseradish.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
We'll do horseradish down below.
Because the critters don't seem to want to eat it.
There we go. Yeah, up here, I mean, we'll have like, mice and maybe some wood rats and stuff. But none of the bigger, we don't have to worry about rabbits. Squirrels usually don't make their way in here. We have had squirrels in here, but not really that big of a problem.
Did you get it all?
Not all of them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no,
No, oh, I thought you meant you needed more.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
So these guys are all planted. All right. Now this is roughly about like maybe about 8 inches to a foot down below underneath here, and so these are all rooted vegetables. So actually these are actual vegetables because fruits have the seeds inside. Vegetables don't. Like a potato doesn't have the seeds inside. Carrots don't have a seed inside. Turnips, radishes, they don't have a seed on the inside.
You're actually eating the root.
Yeah, you're basically eating the bulb of the root. So, all right, so all this is, I'm just going to put maybe a little bit. Actually, no, I think we're good. I got some top sticks and stuff that are still decomposing. So we're just going to water this, and Mo over there is gonna finish up her seeding. Now, just so you know, like pretty much like these guys are probably gonna stay here. Like once these start growing, I'm not gonna take them out and replant them. You kind of can't replant like the rooted vegetables. But a lot of those, we're just going to get the little sprouts, and then once they're sprouting up really good, we're going to have the soil all ready down there, and then we're going to replant everything down in the main garden. When you're planting like a big huge pot like this, you got to make sure that you have holes in the bottom of this because you got to have drainage. Because if you don't have drainage, then basically what happens is that the more the water you put in, there's no place for the water to go, so it ends up just pooling at the bottom, and then eventually you're going to end up rotting all your roots. So this one, I've actually, a number of years ago, we've been using this for a number of years, but this one a number of years ago, I definitely put a lot of holes in the bottom of this little puppy. Originally, this was a little pond for the ducks that we ended up with way too many ponds for the ducks.
And I think it started leaking.
Yeah, it might have started leaking, and that's the reason why it ended up here with a bunch more holes in it. I think I just saw a little wood rat just run by.
Yeah, we have too many of those.
So yeah, so the wood rats, are
the problem.
That's the problem here. So we have, whenever you have like, basically like any kind of livestock, you're gonna have, you're gonna have little vermin, little rodents and stuff. So most of the time, like we don't like to use poisons because the wood rat or the mouse will eat the poison, get sick, die, and then chicken comes along, and the turkey and the ducks. Yes, believe it or not, the chickens, ducks, and the turkeys, they eat meat. They are
carnivorous.
They're carnivorous. People don't realize that. Like your cute little chicken will shred the hell out of a mouse. We've seen it happen. And it's actually pretty wild. It's like you can really see like the inner dinosaur in them, like going after it.
It's disgusting.
It is what it is. But it would really surprise me when I saw the duck actually like going after the mouse, and then not only going after the mouse, but like once after he caught the mouse, he started devouring it, which was extremely surprising. I had no idea.
Disgusting.
This ground is pretty dry, so which is the reason why I'm using so much water right now. And trust me, if I put my finger down like an inch and a half into the ground, it's going to be dry down there. So, I mean, I don't think I'm using too much water. But anyway, so that's going to be it for here.
Plenty moss to the cantaloupe now.
So we're planting cantaloupe over here, and then we're going to water down that, and then we're going to actually put a tarp over the top of it to keep it moist, and just like we did down below with the oats, to keep it moist and keep it warm, to
keep the rodents out too.
Well, yeah, keep the rodents too. But basically it's going to end up sparking the germination process. All right, so let's see how they're doing. Oh, look at that. Germination. So these are the turnips. So these are little tiny little turnip sprouts that are starting. We don't have...
Yeah, there's some over here too.
Oh, okay, we have one. There we are, there's one right there. That is what? That's the radish?
No, those are all turnips.
This was radishes.
That's what I said. I think you got a little crazy heavy-handed. That's why they're a little spread all over the place when you covered them over.
Nothing in the row of carrots yet.
They take longer than that to gestate.